Today we will be talking with local real estate experts. Our guests include Deborah Mitchell of West USA Realty. She is a local real estate agent who is very familiar with the West Valley. Plus, Pat Diomede from Prospect Mortgage will be discussing the HARP program, mortgage rates, and how it's easier to qualify than you might think. Deborah, let's get started and tell us what some of the number one question that clients ask you when you're working with someone.
I laugh because I get that question every day. People come up to me and say, "Is the market getting better?"
And how do you respond to that?
I tell them that foreclosures are going down and sales are going up. And that's good. So I'm seeing a little bit of optimism on the part of buyers and sellers that I wasn't seeing about a year ago. But what people have to understand is prices are still low. So it's my job to educate them and make sure they get the right answers on when to buy and sell.
Excellent. As a homeowner, I'm concerned about when prices will come back on the Metro Phoenix the Metro Phoenix residential properties. What do you see?
Undoubtedly, it's going to take years for prices to get back to even where they were before we took that tremendous jump in prices about 5 years ago. So it's really important for buyers and sellers to know when the right time to sell is. If you think about it, Scott, normal appreciation in the market was about 2% a year. And in some areas, we've had more than 50% depreciation in home values. So how long is it going to take for values to come back at that rate?
Absolutely. So that's why we're seeing some of the challenges that homeowners are having today.
Exactly. And one of the main issues is, and the biggest contributor was, homeowners started seeing their private residences as an income source. And your personal residence was never meant to be an income source.
I see. So how has the real estate business changed over the last few years with all the fluctuations or downturn in the economy, I should say?
My business has changed tremendously. In the past, I would take people to see homes, and I'd go list their homes, and I'd be writing contracts and getting paid, and it was so much fun. Now I see caution, and I see people that are scared in the market. Buyers are still waiting, many of them, to see if we've hit bottom to make an offer on a property because they want to pay the lowest price. And sellers are waiting for prices to come up to sell their homes. So it's important for me to let them know that I can be their counselor, and that's what I spend a lot of time doing, counseling them on the right time to buy or sell.
Absolutely. And that must be a challenging conversation sometimes to have with someone who is either upside down or in a tough spot with their home.
Yes, I'm not always their most popular person. When I come tell them the house is worth half what they thought it was worth. You're right.
When is the best time to sell real estate? People often talk about there being a certain time of year that is better than another time of year. Do you have any guidance on that?
Well, as far as time of year, that's never really been much of a fluctuation for me. The sales are the same all year, except perhaps between November and New Year's. People are focused on other things then. But as far as when you sell your home, it's really personal for every person. In other words, if your home is worth less than you paid for it, and you don't qualify for one of the federal programs that will help modify the loan and keep you in your property, such as HARP, then it might be the right time for you to consider short selling your home. On the other hand, if you've ever thought about upsizing, getting a bigger home, this is a tremendous time to do it, because what you're going to lose in the sale of your home is going to be small compared to what the amount of money you're going to save when you buy that big home. So this is an opportunity for people that want to upsize that they should not miss. Now is the time.
Excellent. And speaking of the HARP program, Pat Diomede's here from Prospect Mortgage. And one of the things he'll be talking about today is how that program can work. But Pat, welcome to the show, and thanks for joining us. The mortgage mess has had a negative effect on many aspects of the economy. Do you see lending guidelines becoming more achievable for those applying for mortgages?
Well, Scott, I do. I have to share with you. The mortgage mess happened, and everybody said, go back to basics, go back to basics. What I learned basically 20 years ago were the basic fundamentals. An underwriter's job is to evaluate risk and assess risk. What a loan officer's job is, my job essentially, is to gather all the documentation up to make sure that when that underwriter evaluates risk, that they're making a cognizant decision and have all the documentation to ensure that we don't contribute to the mortgage mess and add to the additional foreclosures happening in the market today.
Excellent. I hear all kinds of things about underwater borrowers, people who are underwater in their home. What programs exist to help folks stay in their home today?
Well, this started a couple years ago when the industry itself figured they had to help borrowers. About 2 years ago, they came out with a program called DU Refi Plus, which is a program sponsored by Fannie Mae, which the goal was, if you were upside down by up to 125%, to let you stay in your house and qualify to stay in your house, pay your mortgage, and not leave the house that you maybe raised your children in, that you might have an emotional tie to. The problem was there was a lot of premiums involved with that program, so there wasn't that much savings when somebody was truly upside down. So on comes HARP 2. HARP 2, the biggest positive effect to the market is going to be that there will not be any loan-to-value restrictions. So regardless of what level of upside down you're on, ideally, we're going to be able to refinance your loan down to pretty close to what the current market rates are.
That's incredible. What an option for homeowners who qualify for it. Is anyone able to qualify for a mortgage today? Yes, is anyone able to actually qualify for a mortgage today?
We've added an additional role to my job as a loan officer. People have done short sales and foreclosures and all kind of things that have, if you will, mishandled their credit. So part of what we do today is a counselor. If somebody had some mishaps in their past, we help them get to a point where they can fix it. But not fix it with fluff, actually fix it and maybe provide the education to get them qualified so they might be a more qualified homeowner. That being said, yes, we are qualifying people for loan programs. FHA is a low down payment program with 3.5% down. Many veterans are out there. They can use their VA programs at 100% financing. And many veterans don't know they can use that program more than once. So there are some low down payment programs, and people are qualifying. And so if there's a fear factor in thinking I will never qualify for a mortgage, it's worth the time to sit and talk to a loan officer.
Excellent. How have mortgage rates been lately?
What a great question. I love talking about rates because always in the past, people say, well, what are rates going to do? My answer is standard. They're either going to go up, go down, or stay the same. That being said, mortgage rates are phenomenally low. And I really see the rates staying pretty competitively low for a while. As housing goes the rest of the economy. So once we spark that housing market so that people are buying houses and using mortgages, everything else will come along with it. All the trades will be participating, utilities participate, grocery stores make more money, retail makes more money. So I think the rates will stay a little bit low for a little while longer. And if you haven't checked in mortgage rates, depending on the day, they're in the high 3s to the mid 4s, which are really phenomenal.
That's unbelievable. Most people have never seen that in their lifetime, have they?
Never, never.
Fantastic. I want to thank both of you for coming on the show today, and really the real message today, I think, for those watching the show is that you really need to talk to an expert in order to use their expertise to determine if your situation has some options or some possibilities, or if you can buy a home today, even if you have had some credit challenges. So thank you, Deborah from West USA, and Pat from Prospect Mortgage. We appreciate you coming on the show today.